Okay, so this is my little takeaway on the lab project and just kind of reflecting upon it. So, two expectations that I had from the beginning of the project was honestly that I did not believe in myself as much. Let me rephrase that. I didn't think that I was going to make as much progress as I honestly did. Um, I didn't believe in myself. I'll be honest because it's just procrastination. That was my project. I just had done it for so long that I just didn't believe that I had it in me to be able to fluctuate that redirection or with those reinforcers in any way. I just didn't see it happening, unfortunately, but it did. Um, it did, and it was something I just didn't expect. I didn't have high expectations for it. Um, I didn't believe that I had it in me, so that was for sure one expectation. And another expectation of that was probably that um, I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but first of all, the first one is like, of course, I didn't think I was gonna do it. The second expectation was I thought it was gonna be very difficult. I thought it was gonna be more difficult than I had at first interpreted it to be, but honestly, oh, I'll be able to answer number two. So those are my two expectations. Number two, you actually achieved throughout the process. I actually achieved a lot. Throughout the first half, it was very difficult. I didn't achieve much. I saw a lot of fluctuation with my procrastination. I noticed because I measured it by days. So like, um, when it came to it being, how do I express this? When it came to it being the Oh my gosh, my mind is all over the place. When it came to it being the beginning of the week, since I measured by days and I did it by 6 days, I noticed that I would procrastinate. I wouldn't procrastinate as much, but when I got to the end of the week, I would procrastinate more just because I was tired and I just wasn't really feeling it anymore. So, with that being said, I noticed how much I fluctuate in that sense, um, and I noticed that with that being said, that's when I started to not believe in myself. But over time, I saw it fluctuating. At the beginning of the week, I actually procrastinated a little more than at the end. At the end, I just kind of got in the rhythm of it, and it would just level down. At first, I was procrastinating from an assignment for 45 to 60 minutes, and it actually went down 5 to 10 minutes. And honestly, that's a big change, especially with the amount of time that we had to do this project. I was just happy with that type of outcome when it came to all of that. I was just happy because it was something that I just didn't expect. I truly didn't expect that big of a change, but here we are. As for two challenges or difficulties I encountered was two challenges I encountered had to be the reinforcer part, because whenever I gave myself, say I studied for like 10 minutes and then I gave myself 5 minutes of downtime, that downtime, I actually would overdo it. I would, at the beginning, I wouldn't stay on track. I wouldn't do it. I would just overdo it, and then that's whenever my procrastination would increase. Um, Another difficulty was honestly finding a good reinforcer. It took me a little bit. I just kind of used TV shows because at this time there's a lot of good TV shows coming out that I personally was waiting on for a while, and just movies as well. So those were my reinforcers for a little bit, and books. I really enjoy reading, so that's why I would also get carried away, because if I there's a good part in the book, I just didn't want to stop reading it, and there goes my progress on that point. So those for sure are part of it. So yeah, and how do I plan to apply these principles? Honestly, it's just give myself a little bit of grace whenever I learn something new, like, and keep it consistent. Like I said before in my prior videos, I'm also an RBT, so just seeing that consistency and that hard work from both parties it makes a big difference. And so I just kind of have to pour into myself more. And I think a lot of us forget that, especially as college students, we forget that we should be pouring into each other a bit more than we do. You know what I mean? Um, we don't pour in each other as much as we should. We don't pour within ourselves as much as we should either. And I feel like that's a really big thing. So that's something I would for sure take away, is just be consistent, pour into myself, and just whether it comes to using positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement on myself, do it, because it's made a difference in my life. It really, really has. So I've seen it make a difference to others, and I've seen it make a difference in mine with this lab project. So just keeping that consistency with myself and holding myself accountable about all this. So yeah, it was a really cool project. I learned a lot about myself. Really humbling experience as well. Just being able to stay more open and honest to myself and more authentically. Like, obviously I'm not perfect, and this showed me that, hey, I might be getting through school, but I'm also getting through school in a way that it doesn't have to be this way. You know, I could easily give myself a little bit of a breather if I was just to pour in a little bit more. So yeah, I hope you guys had a great semester. I hope you guys learned a lot about yourselves as well. And I can't wait to listen to y'all's videos as well.